My name is Sandy Soliman, and I'm in Intro to Inclusive Education, and this is my final project. So, for my 10 volunteer hours, I volunteered at Programs Employing People, which is also known as PEP, and the organization basically offers programs for people with different intellectual disabilities, ranging from mild to severe, and autism. So they offer programs like literacy, skill programs, art programs, different like holiday events. And I volunteered specifically with the literacy program and the art program. For my 10 hours, as I said, I volunteered um, with the literacy class and the art class. And in the art class, we did a variety of different art projects. And my favorite one had to be where we decorated cut out paper leaves with glitter and we, wrote our names on it and things like that. And for the literacy program, we would do different worksheets of like grammar and math, and we do like sentence building and different sorts of activities like that for the adults with disabilities that participate in PEP. My level of interaction with the community members was very high. We were fully interactive as volunteers and people who attended the program. A lot of times the site director, Lisa, would ask us to be as engaged as possible because that is what the people who attend the program want. Like, they feel excited by new volunteers, so it's exciting for them to be able to interact with different kinds of people, especially us being so young. I was mostly interacting. There was very few observation hours on my first day. Excuse me. On my first day, we went straight into orientation, and we only observed people doing work in PEP. So PEP also offers like a working aspect in which individuals with intellectual disabilities have an opportunity to work, and a lot of times they're just packaging letters, doing those kind of routinely types of tasks that are easy for them to master. I got to know one lady with a disability extremely well. She had a intellectual disability. She was older. She was about 60, I think. And we got to know each other on a very personal basis. And we had one interaction that was actually brought us really close together, and it was very humbling in my perspective. She had shared with me that she really, really disliked living in the group home, and she actually got very emotional about it, and she started crying, and she cried to me about how she wanted to go and live with her brother instead of living in the group home because they treat her so poorly. And I told her, I tried my best to stray away from giving advice about the group home and, her living style, because I don't know her personally enough to have that sort of authority to tell her those kinds of things. Nor did I feel it was appropriate, but I told her how she impacted my days and how her positivity and her smile always radiated to everyone in the room, and that was heartwarming enough, and I need her to always have a smile on her face because that, kept me going. It brought me back to PEP every single week for my volunteer hours. This interaction was really special to me because I felt as though without this interaction, I would not have gotten to know this great lady on such a personal basis, and I wouldn't feel as though the people I'm working with are that comfortable with me. So to have, such a personal experience, I cried myself. I'm an emotional wreck, but aside from that, I cried myself because it was just so, sweet to have someone open up to me after knowing each other for such a short period of time. Honestly, it was really different for me to work with individuals with, especially adults with intellectual disabilities, because I never worked with anyone with any sort of disability before. I used to do like a gym buddy program in middle school, but it was really different, and we were so young that we weren't necessarily going to impact these people. Whereas in PEP, I felt like it was my job to actually make a difference. I'm not going there to just be, take up some space. I'm there to actually help and make a difference and make these people smile. So it was really positive. I had a really positive experience volunteering at PEP. Um, Compared to like the beginning of my volunteer hours, come to the end of my volunteer hours, I would definitely say that I'm much less nervous to work with adults with disabilities, especially intellectual disabilities, because I feel as though they're really regular people who just need a little bit more assistance. And at first, I was kind of just nervous at the thought of messing up, and I was always nervous that I would say something wrong, or I'd do something wrong, or I would give them too much help, or not enough help. So all these hesitations swarmed my mind before I began volunteering at PEP. But now that I have completed 10 volunteer hours, I can truly say that it was a positive experience, and they've truly impacted me, because they are the sweetest people I've ever met. Like, I would walk in and they'd be like, Sandy, and I'm like, oh my god, guys, I missed you. So it was really sweet, and it's a place that I want to continue volunteering at. One of the activities I actually completed with a lady whom I just told a story about, we were working together. She also has a mild form of dyslexia, so we were working together on a worksheet, and she was telling me about how sometimes she just really gets jumbled up with the words, and how the letters like flip for her, and that reminded me of our class activities, in which we would read a sheet with letters and words that were jumbled up, and sentence structures that were kind of thrown all over the place, to sort of stimulate having dyslexia. If I could go back to the beginning of the semester, the only thing I would do differently is probably calm myself down a little bit more, allow myself to make mistakes and ask the questions I need to ask, because I've never worked in this field before. The workers who do work at PEP regularly understand that this is some of our first exposure to adults with intellectual disabilities. So they knew, we'd have questions, and I, straight from walking in there, I threw all my questions right at Lisa, the lady who is the site director. I let her know that I'm really nervous. I don't know what's too much help. I don't know what's not enough help. I don't know which individuals need more help, which individuals need less help. So I just, I voiced all my concerns, and she was very diligent in answering all of them. And so that was extremely comforting. So I would tell myself, Sandy, chill out. This is fun. Overall, it is extremely fun. The advice that I would give students taking the class next semester and completing their volunteer hours, or to anyone who actually volunteers with adults with intellectual disabilities for the first time, it's fun. It's really fun. There are no right or wrong things you can do. The best thing to do is be supportive. If you feel like you're doing the wrong thing, voice that to someone who works with these people on a regular basis and knows, the right and wrong things to do, and who, needs more help, who needs less help. Overall, I'd say my experience at PEP was extremely positive, and I'm so thankful to have done my hours over there, because without this program, I would not have volunteered with adults with intellectual disabilities, since my whole career is focused around children with disabilities. It was an amazing experience. I loved it. I would highly suggest PEP to everyone, not just ECE and special needs education majors. I would recommend it to my friends and my family, because it is truly an experience that everyone should go through, just to show you these people are like us, like me and you. They just need a little more help. But their smiles radiate the same way anyone else's smiles radiate. They're heartwarming. They care about the individuals around them, and it was truly an amazing experience.